Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency, emergency, 3 minutes left." My dear child, the final 45 seconds of this message could shift your life in ways beyond your imagination. So stay with me till the end, and receive the wonderful gifts I have lovingly placed in your path. A person who is in heaven, someone you love with all your heart, someone whose soul still whispers peace into your memory, is calling out to you right now, asking you to open your heart without delay. There is a message wrapped in the breath of eternity, gently passed down through the hands of heaven, not to alarm you, but to awaken you, to lift you, to guide you, to hold you close to the love of God that you may have forgotten in the weight of this world. Please, take these words not as fear, but as a gentle hand reaching through the veil, asking you to remember who you are and whose you are. Type 2323 if you trust in God. In the quiet corners of the world, where hearts ache and tears fall silently into pillows, where fear quietly steals joy from those trying so hard to stand, the voice of God does not shout, but whispers in kindness. His arms do not force, but wait with patience. His heart does not abandon, but longs. He longs for you, not because you are perfect or ready or good enough, but because you are His, and nothing can ever change that. You were not made to carry this life alone. You were made for His embrace, His light, and His healing that runs deeper than any wound you carry. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if you thank God for every new day. This message comes not with judgment, but with mercy, because heaven has seen your sorrow, and the Lord knows how hard the days have been. He saw you when you cried and told no one. He watched when you smiled so others wouldn't worry, even though your spirit felt empty and afraid. There is nothing hidden from Him, and still, His love for you has never once flickered, not even for a second. It is not too late. It never was. The gates of heaven are not locked against you. They are open wide, and they have your name carved in golden light above them. And the one you miss, the soul who left this earth but never left your heart, is praying from beyond the stars, hoping you remember the way home. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. This world teaches us to survive by hiding, by pretending, by hardening our hearts to get through another day, but Jesus did not come to make you stronger in pretending. He came to set you free from the lies that tell you you're too far gone, too broken, too forgotten. Jesus reaches even into the darkest night with a gentleness that does not bruise but heals. His hands are scarred because He chose your pain as His own, and His promise is not built on what you can do but on what He already finished. You do not need to earn His love. You only need to rest in it. This is not a coincidence. It is not random that you are reading this right now, at this very moment, when you were searching for something but maybe didn't even know what. Heaven sees time differently. What feels like a last second to us is only the beginning for Him. These 3 minutes, this urgent call, is a divine invitation, not from fear, but from deep love. That person in heaven, they know what you're going through, and they know the glory that waits when you return to God. They are not asking you to be perfect. They are asking you to remember the way back, the way of peace, the way of surrender. Type 1818 to claim miracles and breakthroughs. Let your heart soften. Let the layers of pain and guilt fall like old leaves from a tired tree. Let the warmth of God's voice wrap around you like the sun after a long winter. You are not alone, and you never were. His Spirit has been walking beside you, even when you felt most abandoned. Every breath you take is a reminder that grace is still being offered. Every heartbeat is a whisper that He's not finished with you yet. Even now, He is pouring healing into the parts of you that no one else sees. Archangel Michael stands not as a figure of fear but as a protector of love, a messenger sent not to frighten, but to remind you that time is precious, and heaven is near. What if this moment is not about what you lose, but what you can finally receive? Let this be your beginning, not the end. Open your heart wide enough to let God back in. The God who knows your name, your story, your weakness, and still chooses you, over and over. There is a light burning just beyond the veil, and it has been calling you home. Not because you failed, but because you belong. And when the time comes, and your eyes open in eternity, may you run into the arms of the one who was with you through it all, and may you see the face of the one you miss, smiling through the beauty of heaven, saying, "You made it. You remembered." Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency, 3 minutes left." Someone you love, someone who has gone ahead into the peace of heaven, is asking you to stop for a moment and open your heart. They have seen what you cannot yet see. They know how close you are to a miracle you can't yet imagine. Not because you are losing time, but because you are being given it. Even in these last 3 minutes, something eternal is being offered to you, not from this world, but from God Himself, who has never once let go of you. There are moments in life that pass quietly, with no thunder or lightning, just the gentle hum of your heart trying to keep going. Maybe you've been walking through those kinds of days, where you smile for others but feel like you're slowly falling inside. Maybe you've whispered prayers in the dark that felt like they floated into silence. Maybe it feels like God is far away, and heaven is only a hope you're trying to hold on to. But listen now, not with your ears, but with your soul. This message isn't about fear. It's about waking up the part of you that still believes in love, in mercy, in Jesus. You are not forgotten. Not now. Not ever. Heaven has never once taken its eyes off you. In the chaos of your life, when you felt too lost, too tired, too ashamed to pray, God has never turned away. He isn't waiting for you to clean yourself up or get it all together. He just wants you to come as you are, trembling, unsure, wounded, because that's how grace works. It comes when we are empty. It fills what we cannot fix. It speaks life where all we've heard is silence. And it's speaking to you now. Jesus didn't come to shame the hurting or silence the doubting. He came to walk with us through the fire, through the heartbreak, through the confusion and the mess. He knows what it is to be human, to be broken, to feel alone. He was not distant from pain. He stepped right into it so we would never have to carry it alone. That's the love you're being reminded of now. Not a cold, unreachable God, but a Savior who kneels beside you and stays, even when everything falls apart. Type 1919 if you believe healing is yours. The person you miss, the one whose memory brings both tears and warmth, they are not gone from your story. They are part of it still, just in a place where sorrow cannot reach. They see you now, not with judgment, but with love. They know how strong you've been, even when no one else did. And they are praying, hoping, asking heaven to send this message in time, before the last 3 minutes fade. Not because you're running out of life, but because you're being called into it more fully. Let your heart soften. Let the pain be what it is, but don't let it make you forget that you are loved far more than you understand. There is no sin so deep that grace cannot reach. There is no fear so loud that peace cannot hush it. There is no mistake so final that the mercy of Jesus cannot rewrite your ending. What you think is over may only be the beginning, if you'll let God hold it. What if 7 minutes of sound could end years of financial struggle and replace it with freedom, prosperity, and peace? This ancient frequency, once locked away in secret government research, is now changing lives everywhere. Imagine bills erased, doors opening, and sudden windfalls flowing into your hands. But every delay is wealth lost forever. Click the link in the video description and comments below to switch on your money wave, and claim abundance today. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Feel the weight on your chest, and now imagine it being lifted. Not by your own strength, but by hands that bled for your freedom. Jesus sees what others don't. He knows how hard this road has been, and He's not asking you to run. He's just asking you to let Him walk with you, to take your burden, to remind you that you were never meant to carry it alone. The enemy wants you to feel hopeless, tired, numb. But heaven is not watching you drown. Heaven is sending a rope, a light, a voice, right now, through these words. Archangel Michael isn't speaking to scare you. He's reminding you that time matters, but not in the way the world tells you. It's not about pressure. It's about invitation. You have time to come back to the one who never left you. You have time to remember the truth that never stopped being true, that you are loved. That you are known. That you belong. The person in heaven who asked for you to hear this, they are already safe, already healed, already surrounded by the glory of God. But they haven't forgotten you. Their prayers reach across the veil. Their love still holds space for you in eternity. They are not calling you to fear. They are calling you to hope. Because love doesn't end with death. And grace doesn't end with failure. And heaven doesn't close its doors to the broken-hearted. Right now, in this very second, a door is opening. Not a door of fear, but of mercy. Not a door of endings, but of beginnings. God is not asking you for anything more than your heart. Give Him the shattered pieces. Give Him the questions. Give Him the weariness. And He will give you rest. He will give you peace. He will give you Himself. Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency, emergency, 3 minutes left." The one you love, now resting in the arms of God, is calling you softly, not with panic, but with urgency wrapped in love. This is not the kind of urgency that stirs fear, but the kind that reaches deep into your soul and reminds you that now is the time to remember the truth you've always known, that you were created for something more than just surviving day to day, that your heart still belongs to the one who made it, and that heaven hasn't stopped reaching for you. There are times when life feels like a blur of noise and pressure, where everything you carry feels heavier than what your spirit can hold. In those moments, it's easy to forget that there is a God who is still watching, still listening, still loving you through it all. But just because you haven't felt him doesn't mean he hasn't been near. Just because you've been numb doesn't mean he hasn't been speaking in the silence, through the wind, in the quiet ache of your soul that longs for something more than this world can give. Type Amen if you believe in God's endless mercy. Jesus came for hearts like yours, hearts that have been bruised, hearts that have been told they're not enough, hearts that carry guilt and grief like hidden weights. He didn't come for the polished or the proud. He came for the ones who sit in their rooms late at night wondering if they matter. And if that's been you lately, know this: you matter to God more than you will ever fully understand. Your existence is not an accident. Your tears are not wasted. Your wounds are not ignored. Heaven sees, and heaven still believes in you. This message isn't just a reminder. It's an awakening. There is still time. There is still hope. And even if everything around you seems broken, Jesus is not asking for your perfection, he's asking for your surrender. You don't need to fix everything before you come to him. You just need to stop running, and let yourself be held. The love of God is not a reward for getting it right, it's the gift that keeps reaching for you even when you get it wrong. The one you love in heaven, the one who left this earth too soon for your heart to understand, they know now what you cannot see yet. They see the light of God in its fullness. They feel the peace that cannot be shaken. And they want you to know, you are not alone in this world. You never were. They haven't forgotten you. They haven't stopped praying for you. And they know what's waiting for you if you open your heart and say yes to the one who never gave up on you. Maybe your faith has been worn thin. Maybe life has drained your spirit and left you too tired to hope. That's okay. You don't have to feel strong to be saved. You don't have to have the right words. You don't have to understand everything. You just need to whisper from wherever you are, God, I need you. And in that whisper, heaven will move. Angels will rejoice. And Jesus, who has waited so patiently, will hold you like he's always wanted to. Don't believe the lie that it's too late. Don't believe the voice that says you're too far gone. Nothing you've done has pushed God away. If anything, your pain has pulled him closer. He's been walking through your sorrow with you, grieving what you've lost, standing in the shadows waiting for the moment you would look up again. And this is that moment. These 3 minutes matter, not because time is running out, but because heaven is pouring in. You may not feel ready. You may not feel worthy. But grace is not about feelings. It's about truth. And the truth is, God loved you before you ever knew him. Jesus died for you before you ever asked him to. And the Spirit of God is still fighting for you, still whispering through these words, come home. Just come home. Let this be the beginning. Let this be where the healing starts. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to say yes, yes to love, yes to peace, yes to the gentle, forgiving, never-ending embrace of God. The one you love in heaven is waiting to celebrate your return, not because you were lost, but because now you've been found again. You are God's child, and you are still wanted, still chosen, still loved more than you know. Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency, emergency, 3 minutes left." Someone who is already resting in the eternal peace of heaven, someone whose soul was once beside you in this world, is still reaching for your heart with love that has not faded, asking you to stop, to listen, and to let these words reach where the pain still lingers. This is not a cry of fear, but a soft voice from beyond time, from the arms of God, gently calling you back into the truth that has never stopped being true, that you are loved, that you are known, and that God is still with you, right now, in the middle of everything. Type 2020 to embrace joy and strength in Christ. There is a quiet kind of suffering that too often goes unnoticed, the kind that hides behind daily routines, polite smiles, and worn-out hearts trying to hold it together for everyone else. Maybe you've been carrying that. Maybe you've been walking through life feeling like you're surrounded by people but still somehow alone. And maybe there's a part of you that has learned to expect disappointment, to protect yourself from hope because hope has hurt before. But God did not make your heart to live that way. He made it to feel, to trust, to believe, to love, and to be loved. Jesus knows what it is to feel abandoned. He knows what it's like to be misunderstood, rejected, and hurt by those he came to save. He didn't come just to teach, he came to walk the road with us, to kneel beside us, to carry us when our strength was gone. He still does. He's doing it now. Whether or not you feel it, whether or not you believe you deserve it, he has never stopped walking beside you, even when you couldn't see it through the tears or the silence. The truth is simple, you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. There's nothing you've done that disqualifies you from God's love. There is no darkness in you that His light cannot reach. The enemy will try to convince you that you're too far, too flawed, too broken, but that has never been God's voice. God's voice is always the one that says, "Come to me, even now." Especially now. He doesn't demand perfection. He doesn't expect strength. He wants your honesty, your surrender, your willingness to be loved where you are, even in your mess, even in your doubts, even in your exhaustion. The one you miss, their prayers are still rising in heaven like the scent of flowers in springtime. They carry your name with them in every whisper of praise, not begging God to rescue you, but thanking Him in faith for what is already being done in your heart. They believe in your healing even when you can't feel it yet. They see the light that's still inside you, even if the world tried to convince you it was gone. They know how deeply you are loved, and they are hoping that you will see it too. Heaven is closer than it seems. It's not far away in the sky, unreachable or reserved for saints with spotless lives. Heaven begins wherever God's presence is welcome, and that can be right here, right now, in your room, in your tears, in your quiet longing for more. You don't have to travel far to find peace. You just have to open the door of your heart and let Jesus in. He never forces his way through. He waits. He knocks. And he never stops waiting for you to turn toward him again. If all you've been doing lately is surviving, that's okay. If all you've had is one small breath of faith left in you, that's enough. You don't need to understand everything to say yes to him. You don't need to feel worthy to be embraced. You don't need to be healed to start healing. Jesus will take you as you are, not as you wish you could be, but just as you are in this very moment. His love doesn't require performance. It only asks for your presence. This is not the end. Not of your hope. Not of your story. This is a sacred invitation to begin again. Not because you failed, but because God always makes a way where there seems to be none. You are not being punished. You are being pursued, by grace, by mercy, by a love that refuses to give up on you. These 3 minutes are not about fear. They are about freedom. They are about the God who saw you before the world did, and still holds your heart like it's the most precious thing he ever made, because it is. Type 2121 if you trust God's plan for your life. Type Amen if you believe God is watching over you, and share this video with 9 faithful hearts to bring blessings and miracles to your life. Let your spirit hear this: you are still redeemable. You are still beautiful in the eyes of your Creator. You are still wrapped in the prayers of heaven. You are not a burden. You are a beloved soul, and God has plans for you that you cannot yet see, but He is preparing the way, even now. Trust Him. Lean into Him. Let the tears fall if they need to. Let the memories surface. Let the weight be lifted. You were never meant to carry all of this alone. Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency, 3 minutes left." A soul who once held your hand on earth now prays with folded light in heaven, whispering your name with the kind of love that never dies. They are not worried for you in fear, but they are yearning for you in love, asking you to open your heart before these minutes slip into silence. They are asking because they see what you do not see, they know what waits beyond this pain, and they long for your heart to feel the warmth of God again, not just on the outside, but deep inside, where hope has gone quiet, where dreams have been buried, where faith once lived and can rise again. You've been strong for so long. Maybe no one really knows how much you've endured just to make it through the day. You've smiled when your heart was heavy. You've shown up when everything in you wanted to give up. You've been faithful in small ways, even when it felt like no one noticed. But heaven noticed. God saw every small moment of courage, every silent cry for help, every time you stayed kind even while your heart was breaking. And now, in these 3 sacred minutes, you are being reminded that you have not been forgotten, not once, not ever. The world tells you to be tough, to push through, to hide your pain and just keep going. But God says something very different. He says, "Come to me." Not when you're strong. Not when you have it all together. Not when you've earned His attention. But now, right now, in your weakness, in your confusion, in the quiet ache that words can't touch. He doesn't need you to perform. He only asks you to open the door. He'll do the rest. The person you love and miss, the one whose absence still echoes through your days, they are safe now. They are whole. They are wrapped in perfect peace, and yet they have not stopped loving you. That love is alive, more alive than anything on this earth. And through the mercy of God, that love is still reaching for you. Their spirit isn't calling you to let go of life, it's asking you to live it more fully, more freely, more deeply, because they now see what matters most, and they want you to experience it too, the nearness of Jesus, the comfort of His arms, the kind of peace that no storm can destroy. There is no shame in feeling lost. There is no weakness in admitting you need help. Jesus came for the lost. He came for the ones who have no more strength to carry their own burdens. He came for the ones who are ready to stop pretending and just be real. Real with their doubts. Real with their pain. Real with their longing for something more. He came for you. And He's still here. You don't have to walk this path alone. Not anymore. You never truly were alone, even when it felt that way. God has walked beside you in every dark valley, and He's still here, holding your heart even if you haven't felt Him in a long time. His love doesn't vanish just because you've been silent. His promises don't break just because you've been broken. His grace isn't earned, it's given, freely, fully, forever. Type 2222 to open the door to new blessings. These 3 minutes are a gift. A pause in the noise. A holy breath. A reminder that everything can change, not with effort, but with surrender. Let the walls fall. Let the mask slip. Let yourself believe, even if it's just a flicker, that something better is possible. Not because life will become perfect, but because you won't be carrying it alone anymore. Jesus wants to carry it with you. All of it. Even the things you're ashamed of. Even the parts of your story you never say out loud. He already knows, and He still loves you. There is no distance you can run that love cannot reach. There is no night so dark that His light cannot break through. You might feel like you're too far gone, too numb, too late, but God is never too late. And neither are you. Right now, in this moment, He is pouring mercy over your life. Right now, heaven is bending close, listening to your heartbeat, waiting with joy to see you open up just enough to let the light in. If you feel like you've failed, let that go. If you've been running, you can stop now. If you've built walls around your heart, they can fall. God is not here to punish you. He is here to restore you. He is here to hold you. He is here to remind you that no matter how long it's been, His love hasn't changed. It never will. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency, emergency, 3 minutes left." Someone in heaven, someone whose laughter once filled your life with joy and whose presence you still feel in quiet moments, is reaching across eternity to remind you that your soul is not forgotten. Their love for you has only grown in the presence of God, and they have asked for this moment to be wrapped in grace, because they see the struggle you've been carrying and the strength it's taken just to make it this far. They want you to know that you are not alone, not now, not ever, and heaven has not been silent to your pain. You have walked through things no one else fully understands, carrying burdens that were too heavy for your heart, yet you kept going. You woke up when you didn't have the strength to face the day. You spoke kind words when your own heart was aching. You showed up when everything inside you wanted to disappear. These things, these quiet acts of faith, they matter. Even when the world doesn't notice, heaven does. God sees what you hide. He knows what it cost you. And He calls it beautiful. Sometimes the world makes you feel like you have to earn love, like your value depends on how much you give or how little you ask for. But God's love isn't like that. It's not measured. It's not withheld. It's not lost when you make mistakes. The love of God is constant, a steady stream that flows even in the driest season of your life. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to impress Him. You only need to let yourself be still long enough to feel it. And that's what this moment is for. This isn't about scaring you or rushing you. It's about waking you up, gently, from the numbness that life's weight can bring. Sometimes it takes a quiet whisper from eternity to remind you that your heart was made for more than just surviving. You were made for joy. For peace. For the kind of love that doesn't leave. And all of that is still possible, not in some distant future, but now, even here, even with all that has happened. Type 1515 to receive peace in your soul. The person you love and miss, their spirit is not gone. Their memory is not a fading photograph. They are alive in the light of God, and that light connects to your life in ways you don't always feel but that are real. They are not calling you to grieve forever. They are not asking you to stay stuck in pain. They are asking you to live again, not because forgetting is part of moving on, but because healing is how we carry love forward. They are not gone from your story. They are simply waiting at the next chapter, and they want you to know that what lies ahead for you is still full of grace. Jesus doesn't demand that you rush through your pain or pretend you're okay when you're not. He walks slowly with the broken-hearted. He moves at your pace. He meets you in the quiet spaces where you've run out of words. You don't need a perfect prayer. You don't need to say the right thing. Just opening your heart to Him, even a little, is enough. He will do the rest. His love moves mountains. His mercy rebuilds what was shattered. And His arms are strong enough to carry you through anything. You may have drifted from Him. You may feel like you turned away one too many times. But God isn't counting your mistakes, He's reaching through them. He isn't disappointed in your sadness, He wants to hold it. He isn't walking away from your mess, He's entering into it, because He knows that the place where you feel most broken is the place where He can show you the depth of His love. You are not lost. You are still being called by name. Don't be afraid of what healing might look like. It won't erase the love you've felt. It won't replace what you've lost. But it will make space for hope again. It will allow joy to return, not in a way that ignores your pain, but in a way that walks beside it. Your grief matters. But so does your future. And God is holding both in His hands. These 3 minutes are not a deadline. They are an invitation. To pause. To listen. To let your heart remember that there is more to this life than what you've seen. There is more waiting for you. There is more that God wants to give. Not things, but peace. Not achievements, but healing. Not answers, but the kind of love that stays with you, even in the hardest places. Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency, emergency, 3 minutes left." The one you cherish who now lives in the peace of heaven has asked for this moment to reach you. Not to bring fear, but to call you back into love. This is not a warning to make you panic, but a plea from eternity, wrapped in gentleness, to wake your heart from the heaviness it has been carrying for far too long. You've felt the weight. You've known the silence. And still, heaven is not done with you. There is more. There is healing. There is light that is waiting to touch the parts of you that have grown tired of waiting for a new beginning. You may not realize it, but the sorrow you've been carrying hasn't gone unnoticed. God has felt every ache in your chest, every night you stayed awake wondering if things would ever change, every day you kept going while something inside you quietly fell apart. He hasn't just watched from a distance. He has been beside you, patient and tender, waiting for the moment you'd stop trying to hold it all together on your own, and simply let yourself fall into His arms. There is a place within you that has grown so used to surviving that it has forgotten how to feel safe. And yet, this is where Jesus wants to meet you. Not in your strength, not in your answers, but in the soft, vulnerable, unguarded part of you that still longs to be known. He is not waiting for you to be ready, He is offering His love now, just as you are. Because no matter how lost you've felt, His arms have always remained open. Type 1616 if you surrender to God's will. And the one you miss, the soul who left footprints across your life, they are not watching you from above with sadness, they are filled with hope for you. They are praying for you with a kind of love that this world cannot contain, a love that remembers every little moment you shared, every laugh, every tear, and carries it now like a song sung before the throne of God. They are not asking you to forget them. They are asking you to keep living. Because they know that what lies ahead, if you just open your heart, is a kind of peace they've already tasted, and it's waiting for you too. God does not call the flawless. He calls the hurting, the wandering, the weary, the forgotten. He doesn't shame those who've drifted. He simply keeps the door open. And right now, in these quiet, sacred 3 minutes, He is calling you to remember that you are still His child. Not because of what you've done or haven't done, but because of who He is, a Father who never gives up on His own. If your faith feels worn thin, let it be. You don't need to pretend anymore. If your heart feels too heavy to lift, let Him carry it for you. If your memories make you cry, let the tears fall. They are not signs of weakness. They are sacred, holy rivers that lead back to the truth, that love still lives, and healing is still possible. You've tried to be strong for so long. But what if strength isn't what you need right now? What if what you need is rest, not sleep, but rest for your soul? The kind of rest that comes from knowing you are safe, that you are loved with a love that never gives up, and that there is nothing in your story that God cannot redeem. Not one moment. Not one mistake. Not one broken dream. Let these minutes soften your heart. Let them remind you that you were made for more than pain. You were made to be held. You were made to be loved. You were made to walk with God, not as a stranger, but as His beloved. And you don't have to fix everything first. You only have to say, "Yes, I want you." That whisper is enough to move heaven. The struggles you faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. The one you love, the one who now walks in the light of eternity, is smiling over you even now. Not with sorrow, but with joy. Because they see what you can't yet see, the beauty that still lives in your story, the hope that's still unfolding, the hands of God still writing redemption into every chapter. They are waiting, not in longing, but in faith, because they know that your heart still belongs to God, and one day, when all things are made whole, you'll be together again, whole, free, at peace. Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency, emergency, 3 minutes left." Someone who once stood by your side in this world, someone who laughed with you, comforted you, and loved you with a depth words couldn't always express, now stands in the presence of God, surrounded by peace so pure, and they are asking heaven to reach you. Not to burden you. Not to frighten you. But to remind you, in the most tender and holy way, that you are not forgotten, and that even now, love is reaching for you with open arms. You may not realize it, but your heart has been crying out for this. For something more than just the rhythm of days that feel too heavy, too fast, or too quiet. There is a part of you that remembers, not in words, but in the quiet ache that rises in moments you can't explain. That longing, that ache, is not weakness. It is your soul remembering where it came from. It is the pull of God's love, calling you back home. Type 2020 to claim joy and strength. We all lose our way sometimes. We grow tired. We build walls around our hearts to protect ourselves from more hurt. We pretend we're okay because we're afraid of what others will say if we're not. But God isn't looking for your perfection. He's not looking for polished prayers or rehearsed strength. He's looking for your heart, the real one, the one that's messy, afraid, and tired. The one that's still beating, even if slowly, even if barely. And He wants to hold it gently until it remembers how to beat freely again. The one you love in heaven has seen the burdens you carry, the things no one else knows about, the quiet suffering, the way you try to smile for others while your own soul feels forgotten. They've asked God to speak to you in this moment, because they remember the beauty of your heart and the light in your eyes that this world tried to dim. They want you to remember it too. And even if all you feel now is emptiness, God is not afraid of it. He doesn't run from it. He draws near to it. Because that space, that emptiness, is where He plants new life. He doesn't expect you to fill it yourself. He doesn't expect you to have all the answers. He only asks that you let Him in. Even just a little. Even just enough to whisper, "God, I need you." That small whisper is enough for heaven to move. You've been so strong, haven't you? You've kept going through storms that others couldn't see. You've stood when you didn't want to. You've hoped when you were afraid to hope again. And heaven honors that. God sees it. But He doesn't want you to keep surviving without peace. He wants you to live, fully, freely, deeply. Not just exist. Not just endure. But truly live with joy again. With meaning again. With Him. Maybe the pain has dulled your sense of God's nearness. Maybe prayers feel hollow. Maybe the silence has lasted longer than your faith could carry. But silence is not absence. And God's voice doesn't always sound like thunder. Sometimes it sounds like these words, reaching your heart when you didn't expect it, stirring something you thought had gone quiet forever. You are not too far gone. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. Heaven has not overlooked your sorrow. And your pain is not permanent. It's a season, not a sentence. It's a chapter, not your story's end. There is more waiting for you. There is love waiting for you. And there is healing that will rise from this, not because you force it, but because God is already preparing the way. So let this be the moment your heart opens again. Not all at once. Just a little. Enough for the light to find its way in. Enough to let Jesus sit beside you in your questions, in your grief, in your fragile hope. He will not rush you. He will not shame you. He will stay. He always stays. That is who He is. The one you love, they know that your life still matters here. They want you to live it well, not in pain, but in peace. Not in fear, but in trust. They are not asking you to forget. They are asking you to remember, not what was lost, but what still lives. Faith. Love. God's presence. Your worth. Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency, emergency, 3 minutes left." Someone who once walked beside you on this earth, whose love still lives in the quiet corners of your heart, is standing in the radiant light of heaven, asking that this message reaches you before another moment slips away. Not because you are in danger, but because heaven wants you to remember what the world has made you forget, that God is still near, that His love is still real, and that your soul still matters more than anything you've lost or broken along the way. Type 111 if you believe miracles are near. There are days when your heart feels like it has forgotten how to hope, when faith seems too far to reach, and joy feels like a distant memory. You wake up, move through your days, do what needs to be done, but deep inside, something aches quietly, asking for more. That ache is not a flaw, nor is it weakness. It is the whisper of eternity inside you. It is the part of your spirit that still remembers heaven, still longs for peace, still believes that even in pain, there is purpose. God sees that ache. He knows the weight of the thoughts you keep to yourself, the moments when your strength fades, the times when you question if he's still listening. He hasn't turned away. He's never left you, not once. Even when you thought you were alone, he was there, not watching from afar, but sitting right beside you, sharing in the silence, feeling every heartbeat, waiting for the moment your soul would lift its eyes again. The one you love, the one who has gone home to God, hasn't left your story. They have simply stepped beyond the veil of time. They know now what you cannot yet see, that life does not end in loss, and love does not end in death. They see your tears, and though they no longer feel sorrow, they long for your peace. They want you to know that you have not been forgotten in the rhythm of eternity. They are still with you in the quiet ways, in the moments when you feel warmth for no reason, in the gentle memories that come when your heart needs them most. You may have felt like faith has been slipping through your fingers, like no matter how much you try, you keep falling short of the person you want to be. But God is not disappointed in you. He never expected perfection, only honesty. He doesn't love you because you succeed, he loves you because you exist. And his mercy isn't just for those who do everything right. It's for those who are still trying, still breathing, still daring to believe that there's something beyond the pain. You have not fallen too far. You have not wandered too long. The road back to God is never blocked, it is only waiting for your first step. And that step doesn't have to be grand. It can be a single word whispered through tears, a sigh that says, "Help me." Because heaven hears even the smallest cry of the heart. Grace rushes toward it faster than fear can whisper doubt. The one in heaven who loves you knows that your life still holds purpose. They see what God is weaving from the threads of your pain, something beautiful, something lasting, something eternal. They are praying for you not to give up, not to close your heart, not to settle for surviving when you were made to live with light again. They want you to remember that God's promises are not broken by your pain. They are only waiting to bloom at the right time. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today.